never paid attention until tonight. I was like, oh wow.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow.
That's
Man,
crazy.
So awesome.
it's now what's interesting is how powerful we are, how
Yeah,
creative we are.
we are.
It's true.
Man, Brother Tyreek, man, I've seen you create, like literally create. So, man, we're gonna hear some of your dialogue, man, with some of these tunes that we're gonna play, some of these songs that we're gonna play that you actually created, and Wakanda and the founders was just so intricate in laying that out. But now you have a story too that I want to capture, that we want to hear about. Millennials, how do you say it? Millennials, that generation. What you you got a way of saying it,
Generation that went to college and came home with no jobs.
man, man, and that's real.
That's us.
That's us. So now we're gonna get into talking about this plan a little bit. Dr. Rita is here. She's gonna break it down. We got some couple testimonies, but just that richness. One thing I want to point out is Jay-Z said, "What do you think about this, Tyree?" Jay-Z said, "Serial entrepreneurs, we're on our own. Stop waiting for somebody else to throw us a bone." And then he said, "If you can't buy the building and stock the shelf and keep on stocking it until you stock it for yourself." Them some lyrics there. What you think about that, bro?
I think he was heavily influenced by Brother Malcolm. Those are words that definitely inspired him based off of that. And I love that though.
Man, that's
I
deep.
feel the same way.
Now you say, bro, yeah, that's deep. Now I didn't know those words came from Brother Malcolm.
Not specifically, but the roots of the word, because Malcolm X always preached about folks, like us, taking things over into our own hands and whatnot, as far as like on the economical stance.
I love it.
And when I hear that type of stuff, I could tell like he poured into not only the generation before me, but even me being like the age I am. I listen to a lot of his teachings too. I'm not a Muslim, I'm a Christian, but it doesn't matter. Like you can have different religions and always learn from other people no matter what they believe in.
I love that. I love that. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to talk about what we're about to see is Dr. David Allen and typology. And they're going to talk about the endocannabinoid system. I'm a cancer survivor, you all. By the way, my name is Minister Willie Mooney, cancer survivor. Now, brothers, we know about his responsibilities. I actually left college early. I didn't graduate just to be able. I had just finished fighting cancer, just pledged fraternity. Daughter was being born, and I wanted to offer her something more. So this video shares a lot in regards to some of the stuff that we don't have access to, but we need. And then Dr. Rita is going to break a lot of it down when we get to her segment. So check this out.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Allen. I'm a retired cardiac surgeon and a member of the International Cannabinoid Research Society, ICRS. That means I'm a cannabinoid research scientist. And I'm here to tell you about the discovery of the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, and the significance and how it will change medicine. And we discovered the endocannabinoid system about 30 years ago, and we really didn't understand the significance of its discovery. And so we found out that this is a chemical communication that your body has. It's not electrical, it's chemical, and it's kind of like the hormone systems that people are familiar with. And your body makes these cannabinoids. They're endogenous, so they're endocannabinoids, and they perform some miraculous functions in the body. And we're just learning the significance of these functions. And basically, the endocannabinoid system is responsible for homeostasis. Most people don't understand what that really means, but it's the body's ability to maintain itself and function in the proper environment. And so it's critically important that that doctors in the future understand this control mechanism. And we're finding out that that manipulation of this endocannabinoid system will control diabetes. It controls cancer. controls whether you can survive a heart attack or stroke. And so this is critically important for doctors to understand this new science. And the discovery of the endocannabinoid system is the single most important medical scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of sterile surgical technique. And I'm a heart surgeon saying that. So more people will be saved by manipulation of the endocannabinoid system than are currently saved by surgery.
So
Wow,
in the
wow,
1930s,
wow. Very, very powerful. Tariq, my brother, where you at? Where you at, my brother? Man, did you hear what he said?
With you.
He said, Dr. David
I
Allen
did.
said, more people will be saved by the manipulation of the endocannabinoid system. I can't wait to Dr. Reed to talk about it. By the endocannabinoid, saved by the endocannabinoid system versus sterile surgical technique. And he said, I'm a heart surgeon saying it. What? What do you think about that?
It really speaks for itself. What we, the type of foundation that we're standing on right now, the type of moment we're in, it's groundbreaking, honestly. It's nothing that I ever would have thought to experience or thought that. It's mind blowing, even as like, I'm not a healthcare professional or nothing like that, but it's just hearing the science behind it and hearing that a lot of, 99% of people, I would say, that went through college never even heard about this system. So
Wow.
I have a lot of questions like, why was it, well, we know why things are kept from us, but how, like, what type of world do we live in that, this information has been withheld from us for so long?
Wow. No, that's deep. So it makes sense that we're not a company, that we're a movement. And a movement to help in what you just talked about, what you just mentioned, like being shut out, but not understanding and not being told. So that in the negative stigma that has caused communities around the world and suffer and lose out on the health and wealth benefits of this plant just makes sense, right? And then when you look at what you alluded to, I think we actually needed to be on a mission. I think your mom, who's the CEO of the company, had that vision that said, no, it's necessary that Wakana herself be a catalyst, and Dr. Rita, Phyllis Nash, Senator Van Pelt be a catalyst to stir up some folk, right? Stir up some folk to move into space is farmers, chefs, and whatever else that it is that's out there, right? That's accessible to us that, clearly looks like a lot of, probably like you, maybe it's some people out there, you could put it in the chat. If you didn't know about the endocannabinoid system, drop it in the chat. That's deep. And I can't wait to Dr. Rita speak on it. Now, check this out. Now, this video is something that was compiled by the company. They took a little of my words, Tyree. They took some of my words. They called my mama. They called my fiance. And this is what came out of it. Check it out. Man, this is just different. My name is Minister Willie Edward Mooney Jr. I'm born and raised in Chicago. Life for me has not been simple. I've always been faced with challenges. At 18 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia. I remember being under chemotherapy and radiation. It's something that I wouldn't wish that anybody would, my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish that they would go through that. That was a condition in which I had no choice. Even though my mom and dad sat by my bedside, they couldn't help me. What it did was present me at a time in which I probably needed to seek God anyway. Looking at everything that I had accomplished, from being on top of my senior class, as far as just accomplishments, getting to scholarships, basketball scholarships, none of it could help me at that moment, which all I could do was rely on God. And then I had my crossroads when I experienced that life might not be open to me anymore on earth. So I prayed to God and I asked him that if you give me more time, because that's one thing that anybody in my position would have desired. If you give me more time, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I'll go wherever you tell me to go, and I'll say whatever you tell me to say. The impact that Wakanda has been on me has been major. And let me start out with saying that I wasn't looking for Wakanda. I'm gonna tell you how I found Wakanda. I found Wakanda because there was an announcement on the radio and the airwaves that said that Illinois was legalizing in cannabis. I remember sitting in the presentation, the CEO came out, it was only 5 of us in the room. And she did that whole presentation as if it was 100 people in that room with only 5. What she presented first was education and a vision. And what it showed me was that 800,000 expungements was not enough that were being allocated here in Illinois. You know, that we had the opportunity not only to just get the 40 acres, but also get the mule. When I look at what Wakanda has created, Wakanda has put together that train that everybody can get in and go on the same ride together. We ain't even looking at it like a march. Let's just look at it like a great train ride, right? And then all of us are together riding on it while everybody's winning. While we're driving this train, the conductor, the founders are driving this train straight into and through neighborhoods and through communities and through places in the world that you have the ability to get on board and join us, but nothing is gonna stop this fast moving train. And everybody being educated and supported while they're on it. Man, brother, how powerful is that?
Phenomenal.
Man. Now check this out. Bro, I know you've shared your story many, many times. This one right here, right now, we both have stories. Now, Tyreek, being a young African-American male, I see you got your family, right? How old are you?
28.
28. I remember when I was 28, right? But challenges hit, right? And you share some testimonies, man, but you hear my testimony and I know you can relate, right? Because we all have our crossroads. You get what I'm saying? That point in which you say, okay, something needs to change. After I show this video, because I shared my story, we're gonna share yours, right? I want you to pour into us. Now, this is your video. I want you to pour into us about what that mindset was when you wrote the lyrics and you shared your testimony. Check this out.
I was going through bouts of just extreme exhaustion from the anxiety, just feeling tired, feeling like just brain fog, just like if I could explain, like a cloud in my head.
Just one time for your mind, for this flight, you were just in time. For Wakanda, we about to hold it down. The grand jewel, come and take a look around.
My name is Tariq Rogers. I'm from Sparta, Illinois. I'm a full-time husband, father, and Wakandapreneur. I love my music. I love my family. I love Wakanda.
Honestly, you speak for themselves. If you would just send me out, I'm trying to bring you the world. All how selfish of me to try and keep for myself. We about to run out of stock. Ain't gonna be nothing on shelf.
About 3 years ago, I developed severe anxiety. When I say anxiety, I'm talking heart palpitations,
It's hot. It's like the oven in hell.
you know, rapid heartbeat, immense fear, concentration issues, trouble sleeping. It was tough. So we're talking anxiety, depression, and insomnia. That was me. Past tense, that was me 3 years ago, but not anymore.
It's been a long time coming and a long way to go. You gotta catch up with the plane, cause it ain't moving slow. So keep up. We in the sky, you just gotta reach up and see what the talk is all about.
About 1.5 years ago, I was introduced to the Wakanda products, aka the Crown Jewel. And since then, it's changed my life. I've been able to conquer my anxiety, my depression, and my insomnia. It's been a game changer.
Never mind, maybe I'm too far removed to ever be confused. We got too much to lose. The and I lace up these shoes and keep running. Insomnia keeping you up. Got what you
Thanks to
need.
Wakanda, I can focus on what I truly love, my passion, my music.
My phone just keep buzzing. I grind till I'm dozing out. We made it, I see it coming.
Wow. Wow, bro. Wow. So 28 years old, I'm 47. When you wrote those lyrics, and I know, and you've shared a testimony about going to an auditorium, right? And seeing something during a certain time. What's in Tyreek Rogers' head when you see that video and you dropping the lyrics? You know that on my next video. No, I'm just go ahead.
So what's in my head is what pertains to the video that we just seen, like
Yeah,
related
like
to
you
the.
wrote the lyrics, you said the words. You know, I've talked to you one-on-one. You know, I don't want to put all your business out there, but there's something that you and I both have looked at, which is our daughters, right? At a time, right? When we were young. Well, you're still young. Well, I'm old, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to hang. But I want you to go into that and share your experience when you walked in that auditorium.
You know, so when we talk about things like depression and anxiety, you know, these are things that are ongoing battles. They're not something that you just, you know, you snap a finger and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the anxiety came along later on in life, but the depression, I realized a few years ago that I've actually probably had that the majority of my life, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to a doctor, being prescribed medication, and don't get me wrong, I'm not speaking against medication because it's definitely very necessary, you know, in society. But sometimes I just feel like it's overused in certain circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
and the specific medication that I was prescribed was for depression, and I remember taking it. And one thing about being depressed is like depression isn't something that lasts 100% of the time. You know, you might feel depressed a couple of days and then you're good. But when you're taking medication for it, it turns everything off. You know, it turns the depression off, but it also turns off the happy moments. You know, it turns off the anything. So it's like, what's the point? You know, they even, you know, talk about in some instances, people can be more likely to commit suicide being on medication because they don't have that, you know, they don't have nothing pulling them either direction. And I remember, you know, taking my medicine and going to a Christmas play and watching my daughter perform at, you know, at a church. And I remember like normally I'm very like kind of just, I feel a lot on the inside, you know, even if I don't show it on the outside, I feel it on the inside. And I remember watching her and not feeling anything.
Wow.
You know, I don't feel like there's nothing that could have happened on that stage that would have made me feel something. And that was when I was like, you know what, I feel like I'm better off depressed, you know. So I stopped taking the medication, dealt with it, and I actually didn't realize that anxiety and depression ran hand in hand. Wow. I didn't develop anxiety until I believe 2017. Late 2017 was when I started having like the actual panic attacks. Right. I didn't even know, you know, anxiety. I never thought of nothing like that. And, you know, everything just so happened to run hand in hand. I'm the type of person that's very calm and collected, and I let things manifest, I believe. And I feel like things have just manifested over the years and have turned into anxiety, you know. And
man, anxiety is no joke, and it could be like a powder keg ready to explode. And this is what brings me to what these 4 African-American women, your mom, Melissa Boston, our CEO, visionary, allowed for both myself, who suffer from anxiety, right? I used to get in front of the presentations just like this man and be sweating ferociously because Phyllis would push me. But
used to have
and yeah, that's your mom. So, you know, but I can only imagine now looking at your own daughter on stage, you know, just just being in a space where you knew your character was off, you knew something was just off, and then being in a space where you wanted to be present and can't be present. This is what's so amazing about Dr. Rita McGuire, right, and our founders. And you're going to hear from Dr. Rita McGuire, but let me tell you something. She's the Michael Jordan of this industry, I like to say, right? Anyone who can petition and sit, not petition, but come to a format, come to the table and speak to our state legislative. And they didn't get to call anybody, but to call an OB-GYN who's delivered over 8,000 babies, and there's probably 9,000 right now because we've been through a pandemic and she's still working. But to sit at the table and they ask her all the questions and she say why it's okay for CBD, cannabinoids, cannabis, and everything else, I think that's a game changer. And then you have your mom's platform speaks for itself, but I want to talk about our chief financial officer, Dr. Patricia Van Pelt, who's our state senator here in Illinois, who's wrote dissertations on social movement, been in real estate, but very passionate about the community. And even in the space when her colleagues, were not pretty much filling a space that was necessary for her and us to step into, which provides us with what we're getting now, she had the courage and the endurance to do so. But I've seen that before with her on the website. And then Phyllis Nash, man, have known her longer than I have. But I always say she's the one that, she might have did you too, where she'll grab you by the collar, shake you up a little bit because she Mama Phyllis. She's the midwife or what kind of, but at the same time, I grab you by the hand. So let me tell you about your mom, man. You heard me say in that video, she was one of those women. Well, she was the one founder that walked in the room, right? And if 5 people in the room, she shut it down and compelled myself and my fiance to get involved. A year and a half, a little over a year and a half, $4 million in sales, and all possible through the 2018 Farm Bill that I'm sure Dr. Rita is going to talk about. Now, this, Tyreek, is what's pretty amazing. That really kind of, I'm like, man, the signs of the times was here, and you wrote about it, right? Let's say something a little bit about this CBD industry, Rolling Stones magazine and CVS and Walgreens. What you think about that?
I think it hits close to home, especially the America whites only weed boom. I mean, we know what that's about at the end of the day. And I just feel like we've paid the most in blood and sacrifice when it comes to like this industry. So I feel like for a lot of us, it's personal because it's like, no, we're the ones who, we still are suffering. Like we have so many families that have been ripped apart on account of marijuana. And now it's like this to think that the children of the same people that sent our fathers and grandfathers to prison are now reaping the benefits of what they have, wow. they were ripped away from us for. So I feel like it's very, that point of it is very personal. Mm-hmm. And, with it becoming essential and from illegal to essential is definitely something that I just feel like it's almost like a birthright, like we have to, this is something that we have to.
Word, a birthright. Yeah. Woo! That's a heavy hitter, bro. But I like it. And the thing is that it's necessary. I felt that now, I ain't tripping. Men was left out of this survey. Brothers like we was left out. It's all good. I ain't tripping. But demand and supply says that these are the industries that technically have a high demand for cannabis, cannabinoids, and everything that Dr. Rita is going to talk about. But check this out in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, when the women were surveyed, 1,500 women, skincare, jobs, sex. Yep, we gonna talk about sex, baby. But you see dining and retail, but look at that left-hand corner. Is it true? Is this true that 50% of that cannabis, the majority of its patronage, and 50% of it is with millennials? Why is that? What is going on?
Personally, I feel like, we're a heavy part of the population and, we more likely we experiment a lot too. So I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but also at the same time, I feel like we deal with a lot of underlying issues when it comes to, like not only like our mental health, but it's just it could be a lot of reasons why we gravitate towards that, but more positive than the bad is, you know what I'm saying? So, but
Man, we have two millennials on the call, and then we're going to bring up Dr. Rita. Because man, yes, we need to hit some testimonies from maybe not what am I, Generation X, Y, one, or somewhere up in there. But I see there's a Genesis in the house, right? Genesis is it'll be great to hear from you, hear your testimony if you don't mind unmuting, because we want to hear from you. And then there's a Sierra who's going to go next. Are you there, Genesis?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hey.
All right. So, okay, for my testimony, I found out about Wakanda through my mother. Her name is Crystal Robinson. And right now she's, I believe, Sapphire. So props to her. And this was in 2019. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was skeptical, but now I'm 22. And I can relate to a lot of what the prior I feel like sentiments around the CBD benefits were, like for my anxiety. And like even on that chart, it just said like skincare and just all those benefits, like they started working for me. And then I'm like, I did know about the endocannabinoid system because I learned about it in like anatomy class. Like I was paying attention and stuff, but I didn't realize that it was the cannabinoid, like the cannabis, like cannabinoid. Like,
Yeah.
so once I figured that out, it just all clicked. And I'm like, I understand, like I feel that it works and I understand in my brain why it works.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Very powerful. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'm so happy. And I'm a
Congratulations to your
distributor.
mom.
Yes, because my mom taught me so much now. Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to flow. Well, thank you so much, Genesis, for your testimony. Thank you so much. Very powerful.
Did you hear Willie? She said she is also a distributor.
That's what I'm saying. Like millennials know. I mean, a mother
Generation.
and daughter team is just so amazing. So powerful.
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
And
that's a
sisters.
mic drop.
My sister Sierra.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
Your
Oh yes, this is the same
sister,
family.
Sierra?
That's right.
This is a family affair?
That's right.
Oh,
Sierra, you can
come
go ahead and
on.
speak, dear.
Come on in, Sierra. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, everybody.
So hold on. This is a Robinson affair. I hear you. Sierra, share with us what this plan has done for you and your family, for you particularly.
So for me, it kind of hits home for different reasons. I deal with endometriosis. So CBD and cannabis for me basically transformed my whole dealing with pain. And I also suffer from seizures in my early 20s. So CBD and cannabis as a whole, for me, is basically regulating my whole entire biology right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Endometriosis is wow. I've seen someone, try to deal with it, and to have that testimony that is providing you some relief is so amazing.
Oh yeah. For me, it's the pain cream, and it's also the hempranium drops, and even the inflammation gummies. It all just is good for dealing with endometriosis, and also just dealing with the pains that women go through on a daily basis, just from fibroids and other things like that. I know Dr. Rita can testify to that direct link with fibrosis and CBD.
Wow. Speaking of Dr. Rita, I mean, one, Sierra, amazing. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who definitely can relate, but at the same time, that's something that we need to talk more about. Certain things that we don't talk about. as millennials, as parent to child, but it's so amazing that our founders, and Dr. Rita is coming on now, that the science behind it, now the conversations and the education is just changing the game. So I praise God that you were able to get what it was that would provide you some relief. Dr. Rita, all right. Woo! Y'all about the, y'all, Dr. Rita is just amazing. She helping us all change the game, right? Because she is a not just an OB-GYN fitness guru, coach, influencer, just all over. I seen her, she was honored by, who you honored by recently?
The Chicago Defender, Woman of Excellence.
Woman of Excellence. So with that being said, Dr. Rita, take it away.
Wonderful. Oh, wow. This was really, really a great exchange. I am truly, truly honored to be here because there are so many challenges that millennials have talked about tonight. Not only anxiety, depression, insomnia, but let's not leave out the women. Endometriosis, fibroids, dysmenorrhea. Endometriosis is a very, very debilitating gynae female issue where the implants that occur on the ovary, it occurs on the tubes, it occurs outside of the uterus, can cause a woman not only to be infertile, but have such debilitating pain each and every month that could require surgery. And so this is why, really helping those who don't know about CBD to engage them with the conversation, because yes, even endometriosis can be assisted with CBD. And we're going to talk about how that works. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know, Tariq, if you can see my screen here. Yes. Okay. So, we've heard a lot about CBD. What is it? What is CBD? 4 years ago, Tariq's mom, our CEO, Melissa Boston, introduced me to CBD. We're not taught about cannabis in medical school. We're not taught about the endocannabinoid system in medical school. I had no idea what Melissa was talking about. But once I did my due diligence and I found out that CBD or cannabidiol actually comes from part of the cannabis family. It comes from both species, the marijuana species and the hemp species. But when I realized that there's a part of the plant that doesn't get you high, but gives you all the health benefits of marijuana, I was really excited. And the reason why I was so excited is because I've been an obstetrician gynecologist for over 30 years. I've been a healthcare professional for so long where I've seen so many patients really not get any results from traditional pharmaceuticals. I've seen patients come to me and they're asking, can I take this herb or that herb? And so this is absolutely an herb from God's earth that has been effective. It's been so effective that when you look back in the history of cannabis, cannabis has been used since 2737 BC. In fact, pharmaceutical companies like Park Davis and Pfizer and Eli Lilly, all of these traditional pharmaceutical companies use CBD for medicine for many, many years, for centuries. So this is nothing new, but we definitely have to bring it back into the forefront. So when we look at CBD and we look at the benefits, why are some people wanting to use marijuana and why some people want to use CBD? Well, I have a testimony, and my testimony is that I have 3 adult children, and when they found out that I was involved in an owner or co-founder of a CBD company, they're like, oh, Mom, that stuff doesn't work. We want THC. I'm telling you, my children fight over these products. And why? Because they're getting the same, if not more, benefits, medicinal benefits without the high. And that's what we want. We want to be able to work, take care of our children, be functional, but not be in pain. We want to be able to sleep at night and wake up refreshed and not have a rebound fatigue that many of those sleeping aids give us. So this chart really shows how CBD has more medicinal benefits than THC combined. And when we look at the properties of CBD, when we look at the fact that CBD not only is an analgesic or pain relieving compound, but it actually helps with anxiety. It's an anxiolytic. You heard Tariq talk about the anxiety and depression and the fact he was like, forget that medicine. That medicine's making me feel awful. I'll just be depressed. And we find that so many patients will just refuse or decline taking traditional pharmaceutical medications. Why? Not only do many of them not work, but they cause side effects. They cause side effects that cause us as professionals to give you another medicine for the side effect for the medicine that we gave you to address an issue. CBD also helps to reduce inflammation. And we know that chronic illnesses today, from obesity to diabetes to heart disease to hypertension to depression to dementia, the common denominator is inflammation. So if you can reduce inflammation in your body, you have addressed so many chronic conditions that affect us today. When we talk about endometriosis, we talk about the fibrosis, the inflammation that is occurring around our female organs. So CBD truly is the hero. So it's really about learning and unlearning, right? It's about those stigmas that we still have. Many of you have. I had the stigma. But CBD gives you the health without the high. It's not psychoactive. It doesn't give you the munchies. It doesn't give you the paranoia. What it gives you the ability to reduce anxiety, nausea, vomiting. It gives you the ability to reduce inflammation, to reduce a pain. And it also helps to release, and we're going to talk about this, it helps to release neurotransmitters or hormones or chemical compounds in the brain that help reduce depression, anxiety, and to help us sleep. Now, the new kid on the block that you all should know about is Delta 8. Delta 8 is like the sister or the cousin to Delta 9. See, Delta 9 is that compound that gets us high. But Delta 8 is the new kid on the block that gives you that same sort of relaxation and calmness without the psychoactive effects. In fact, Delta 8 is known for its calming effects. It's known for its relaxation effects. It's known to give you that additional potency that maybe CBD is not giving you. So Delta 8 is the talk of the town with Gen Zs and millennials. Again, the benefits of Delta 8 are that one, it doesn't give you that psychoactive qualities like Delta 9, so it doesn't give you the high, but it's much more of a potent full body effect and mind effect, a little bit more than CBD. So how do all of these compounds work? You know, we talked about the endocannabinoid system, and this system is truly the most vital regulatory system. And the reason why I say that is because if you see on the far left, the receptors that this system is responding to when we use CBD or we consume cannabis, these receptors are found throughout our entire body, from our head to our toe, from our fingers to our nose. They are found to put our body back in balance. They are found to give us homeostasis. These receptors, when bound, send signals to the brain that says, simmer down, calm down, reduce that anxiety. And when we look at mental health in Gen Zs, when we look at mental health in millennials, we say that this is a big problem, that they are the population that is least likely to report having good or even excellent mental health. You know, they're stressed out from things like mass shootings to suicide rates increasing to climate, global changes, the COVID, the coronavirus, the lack of ability to secure jobs after going to college and graduating. Just so many sort of stressors that are on this population. So this is why CBD is absolutely vital for every millennial and Gen Z. You know, when we look at PTSD, many of us think of veterans or someone that's in the Army. Well, no, PTSD can occur to anyone that has gone through a traumatic, stressful event can have PTSD. And we know that CBD, the endocannabinoid system, actually promotes balance and recovery. CBD is found to block the remembrance of triggers in those who have PTSD. And even when we talk about depression, you know, when CBD binds to those receptors in the brain, it actually releases more dopamine. It releases more serotonin. Those are compounds that make us feel good. Those are compounds that make us sleep. Those are compounds that release anxiety. So CBD is truly an herb, a natural way, an organic way, a holistic way of addressing so many issues. So our products here at Wakana are products that are tested, and we're going to talk about that. These are products that go through a third-party validation that really confirm that when you read our label and it says it's 750 milligrams or 25 milligrams or 100 milligrams, we have certificates of analysis that actually document that this is true. Also, as Minister Mooney stated, the 2018 Farm Bill makes CBD legal in most states. You know, on a federal level, CBD was legalized in 2018, but there are some states that still have their own agenda. But our products are grown organically, they're fully compliant, meaning that our products are sourced from the hemp species, not the marijuana species. And it's also important, if you're on medication, if you're under a doctor's care, please consult with your physician. Our products should not be used in adults, young adults that are under the age of 21. And also, if you are under a doctor's care, please consult with your physician. We can't stress that enough. And we have products in every single category. We have products for weight loss. We know that millennials and Gen Zs, like all of us, have put on an extra COVID weight. We have products to boost your immune system, to keep the immune system strong during this global pandemic. We have products that address hair restoration, alopecia. We have products that address skincare, essential oils as well as our flagship CBD products. So our CBD products come in tinctures, gummies, topicals, vape cartridges, smokables, spices, butters, shampoos, you name it, we have actually thought of it. We even have products to help to promote your libido if you're having issues with libido. So the benefits overall of CBD, I can't stress enough: relaxation, better sleep, relieving anxiety, increasing focus, right? A lot of millennials and Gen Zs have the tendency to have ADHD and fatigue, so boosting energy. Our Delta 8 is something you absolutely have to try. Why? Because Delta 8, these gummies, help to improve your creativity, you know, to enhance sex and better sleep. It's energizing. Delta 8, if you're sensitive to Delta 9, if you're sensitive to marijuana, we want to make sure that you start low and start slow, right? So these gummies, you want to start with 1/4 of a gummy because Delta 8s are pretty potent. Our other Delta 8s are either 50 milligrams or 25 milligrams. The 25 milligrams start with half a gummy. But Delta 8 is the new kid on the block, and millennials and Gen Zs are loving our Delta 8s. We have our cartridges, our vapes. Our vapes are really, really potent, meaning that 1 to 3 puffs is all you need, and they act quickly. See, vapes work within 1 to 5 minutes. That's why I love my vape when I need that acute result to anxiety or stress, or maybe I'm trying to get to sleep. Gummies take about 45 minutes to 90 minutes to get into the system, and the tinctures under the tongue take about 15 to 20 minutes. So we have topical products, we have vape cartridges, we have gummies, we have tinctures, we have so many products for all of the needs that we need to address. So I'm going to hand it back over to you, Minister Mooney. Hopefully, you know, you have a better understanding of how CBD works and why we all need CBD.
Wow, 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 wow. It is that's being Tyreek, that's breaking it down, and it literally being broke. I mean, a wealth of information. Dr. Rita covered everything. Thank you so much, Dr. Rita. Man, it's like I'm getting that information all over again, because education is key. And what she broke down regarding endometriosis, anxiety, depression, man, Tyreek, what's going on? What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's like, you know, no matter how many times I get that breakdown, I always pick up something new. It's just so refreshing to hear it broken down, like, especially for somebody like me. Like, I know most of y'all probably can interpret that a lot more than what I'm interpreting it. So myself, like, if I can understand it, then I know the world can understand it.
I get what you're coming from. I get it. And speaking of interpret, brother, I'm about to play the lyrics to this video. I have a great appreciation from. I love the blend. I love some people might only think themselves are artists if their stuff is playing on the radio, like they've made. Brother, let me tell you, millions are listening to your voice and what you wrote, what you shared with us. Let me not tease the people any longer. Just let's take a look at this. Take a listen. This is some more testimonies, you all. But let me check this out. You're gonna love it.
It just made sense to me. It was more so about teaching people a more natural way to be healthy.
We had the opportunity not only to just get the 40 acres, but also get the mule.
Waters with the sharks and piranha swim. Remember, couldn't see the sky, it was kind of dim. I never broke, I ain't got that kind of skin. They never should. Back for the crown again, royalty. If you got the time, we're gonna talk about loyalty.
I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at age 17, and now at age 51, I'm finally getting the relief that I need from my arthritis without all of the side effects.
I have witnessed thousands of people overcome so many challenges, chronic long-term challenges that they've not been able to really overcome with traditional pharmaceutical medication.
I went and played golf this year, and normally when I play for the first time after 18 holes, I'm really sore. I took my Impranium in the morning. I used some of the pain cream, on my knees, and you know, it's like I hadn't played at all.
Well, Wakana isn't just a company, even though you can say it is a company, but we really formed this from the beginning to be a movement. We knew that the cannabis industry really had not catered to those who unfortunately were the victims of the war on drugs, and that was minorities, African Americans. And so in starting Wakana, it was really giving birth to an idea that we as African Americans, we as minorities, we as Black and brown people could absolutely play a big role in this. So we see this as a company, a movement that will absolutely revolutionize and change the cannabis industry and help impact minorities all around the world.
Wow, brother. Wow. Not only impact minorities, revolutionize the world, but impact millennials. Like, you wrote a song saying heavy in the crown and mentioned sharks. To break that down for me, man.
No, it's crazy to be asked this, because anybody that's known me my whole life, like, I don't even like telling people I do. Well, I used to not like to tell people that I do music. You know, I've always been real shy about it. But now I'm kind of like, with my anxiety not being so bad and whatnot, and not really caring what I would say, like, people think, I'm definitely, like, cool with it. So I'm glad you asked that, because that was one that always hits me when I hear it too. So,
man,
really, in the waters where the sharks and piranhas swim is just, we're in a world full of sharks and piranhas, and when you're like going through anything, it could be anxiety, depression, and a host of any other health problems, you still got to go and deal with the world. And the world, at the end of the day, it can be a harsh place, but just about not being, for those sharks and the piranhas that we deal with in the climate today.
Wow, powerful, bro. Wow, very powerful. Which brings me, your mom, Melissa Boston, our CEO, your mom had a vision. You have captured that vision in your lyrics, bro, and have captured what everything that we are experiencing right now, every people that we're touching, is being ushered in. I call you the Pied Piper. But I know, I'm not wrapped too tight. So, but the real deal is that it started out with a story, man, and we were gracefully hearing what you have to say through your story as well, through your lyrics. And our four founders pretty much have captured something that no one has, and wanted to make a difference just like you, just like me. And a movement has kicked off where we're seeing our brand, our product go forth. Like you just said, heard Dr. Rita share and heard all the testimonies. And it's a new culture being created, bro. Right? Would you agree? And in this culture, what's happening is, Tyreek, you, myself, millennials have the opportunity where we're making a difference, and there's a different type of experience that's happening. Right? You and I together right here, right now, 47, 28, right? A part of a movement, not just a company, but a movement that's making a difference. So we're not on the shark side, right? We're not on that side. We're on the side that says, we're the people who want to make the difference and are making a difference. Right. And we're inviting people to this space. A number one person.
We're all in the water together.
That's right. That's right. So, Tyreek, we got three types of people out there, right? The number one is, who is the number one, man? Who are these type of people?
Typically your family, sometimes an acquaintance, somebody that might not necessarily want to get too much into it, but they see the products. Maybe they have a health problem they want to address. Maybe they have anxiety, depression. Maybe they just want to try our products, just for fun. And that's a person number one.
And a number two?
Typically, at least from my experience, a person number two always starts off as a person number one, because person number one has tried the products and they paid for them, and person number two is like, hey, look, these products are amazing. How can I earn some free products? You know, and person number two is gonna earn free products by hosting parties and having fun while doing so. So
hold on. So you mean to tell me they could kick it with us?
Definitely, they can do pretty much what we're doing now. They can host parties and they can earn free product. Invite guests, you know, from the comfort of their home. That's how we doing this.
That's a layout. But now I don't like talk this next person we need this next hold on. Let me stop it right here. Hold on. Because there's something that we don't talk about enough, but we gotta see if there's people in here like this. Am I right? Yeah, I feel so. So this officially ends our millennial call. And if somebody is out there now, shout out to, hold on, I see some people in here who's, man, shout out to Joe Davis. Shout out to Latrice Levette. Latrice Levette invited Marjorie. I hope I didn't butcher that. Joe Davis invited Manuel Lamar, Man Hicks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So if you're a number one or a number two, and that's who you are, thank you for joining us. Get back with the person that invited you. We're going to take a little more time if it's a number three out there. And Tyreek, break it down to him who's the number three.
Person number three is somebody that sees the most value in the company, somebody that, you know, maybe they might not want to start off as a number one. Maybe they know that this is it for themselves right now. Mm-hmm. So they want to, you know, they're going to make the biggest difference within Wakanda. That's a person number three.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, let's see. I'm going to get Mr. Manuel's email because he had a question that I can't answer. So I want to make sure that he gets the answer that he's looking for.
I see. Okay. See, you know what, brother? You know how to multitask your butt off. Now, let me give you some information about Mr. Tyreek Rogers, you all. He also is that voice, with that merry voice. Let me put that out there. He's that merry voice that you hear behind customer service sometimes. So y'all know he's still on the job. This is what Wakanda does. This brother, man, we in the middle, and he like, man, you know what? Hold on, I could get that question answered for my brother who about to be a customer. So I feel you, bro. I love that about you. I love your service-driven heart. May I have your email, please, my brother? There we go. But now there's some people out there who want to talk about the money. And if you are, not current, brand new. If you're brand new, this is your first time, because we have went a little bit over. But if you're brand new and you want to hear a little something about the money, put it in the chat and we can share that. We're going to take about another 5-10 minutes and breeze through it. But you could always get back with the person that invited you to hear all about the money. But if you put it in the chat, and I see there's some people who want to hear about the money, we'll go in and start talking about it. But if not, this is officially a wrap, right? We don't have to talk about it. We need to have more conversations about it, but get with the person who invited you. Manuel, he kicked it off. He just kicked it off and said, let's go. So that means if you hang around, we only talking money right now if you're hanging around. So let me get this slide up. Is that all right, Tariq? You ready to talk about some money?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Okay. So right now, this is a ground floor opportunity. Person number three, right? And this person number three is a person that, like Tariq said, that sees value. And they say, you know what? There's a lot more out here for that the plant and the industry offers outside of just health. Well, we're talking about the wealth portion. And I see some people still dropping in the chat. Well, there's 7 ways to get paid, and we're going to briefly go through a couple of them. Look at Kathy. Kathy always say, I can't blame Kathy. She's a Ruby in the company, and I tell y'all, we're going to go through that a little bit of why I say Kathy and people like her are going to say, show me the money. Manuel knows what he's talking about. So we got 7 ways to get paid. Let's go through this. Online dispensary, what that means, e-commerce, retail sales, shared wealth pool. All right, retail sales is something that we know that out of retail, there's some people that's getting a check. I'm not talking about the stimulus check either, right? But see, there's this company, Wakana is sharing, you know, through the style of being you know, you see the word broker, right? You heard about real estate brokers, insurance brokers, right? Overrides that come from brokers. What that means is that there's a company that says, I'm going to put our product into distribution and I'm going to run it through a broker, right? Let's call us cannabis brokers. And there's some money on the table to be made, right? For that broker. Car allowances. I'm not a free car. No, not a whole car, but an allowance, a stipend that'll go towards the car. $500 minimum when you hit diamond. I'll talk about that. And free trips. And then there's something just extra. There's a whole lot of extra stuff. How about sharing in a company's total gross revenue wealth, where there's a percentage of that that's allocated, but it starts at the crown jewel dispensary, right? $998 comes with, you've been educated tonight by Dr. Rita. And I mentioned the broker, right? But a micro dispensary, you all, not for $2,000, but for $998. And it includes everything, even this university, right? Which is education, minimum 8 hours a month, minimum 8 hours a month, not all the time 8 hours, but where you learn social media marketing, search engine optimization, building a customer base, how to infuse. You heard what Dr. Rita taught. Imagine our whole medical cannabis advisory board, right? Speaking to you in CB 101 language, like speaking to you, breaking it down, the science and everything. How, you know, there's just so many things going on. Wakana is about to actually start accepting crypto, right? As a form of payment, because we're going global. So how about learning about how to just leverage that? Because that's a lot of leverage. Now, I'm not talking about selling crypto. It's for a whole nother conversation, but I'm talking about leveraging it right from your website, right? That's what's about to happen. And I'm talking about, you all, everything that you heard us talking about, parties. I'm talking about help with the language. We don't have to sell. What we just shared with you and what Dr. Reed, we don't have to sell, but we can leverage. And I'm saying, when you're looking at these screens, there's a piece of pies out there, y'all, that you can just bite out of and enjoy. But if you don't have the $998, it's a $219, right, during this pandemic, because you still see value. There's something we have special for the millennials, right? Because remember, we mentioned that that's the generation that elite, that have graduated from college, coming home and still don't have a job. And that's, I get it. The industry has been crazy. So yes, we have something special. It's not as, you know, hardy as the $990 8 crown jewel. However, you still get a piece of that pie, $219. And what makes it so good or okay or great, and all of those different words, depending on your perspective, is you still become a broker, you still get the university training, and you get product, right? Not as much as you see, and I'm gonna point out some things later when you reach out and you talk to the person. Well, the bonuses may be a little different on one side when, say, somebody partners with you, but that's okay. Leverage is just leverage. And when you look at all that's on the table to offer, remember I said e-commerce. When you look at what, up to 50%, go for this ride with me, y'all. Remember that train ride. 50% of retail sales, 50%. I'm talking about having your own Amazon, but with cannabis in it. All those wonderful things, Delta 8, power gummies, hair, sex, addressing a whole lot of things, the libido, just what? King of the jungle, Tyreek. What you know about that?
I've been taking the Delta. I haven't tried that, though.
You haven't tried the King of the Jungle? I tell you, brother, shut your mouth. But anyway, look at this, you all. $1,000 in retail sales, and as an example, on your website. And then with just 5 customers, 30%, $300 in payout, $100 extra in assets, and then product totaling $400. You can't beat it. Now, this is not hype. This is real numbers. And the thing is, Robert Kiyosaki knows about leverage and he knows about numbers. The richest people in the world, he says, look and build networks. We're talking about leverage. We always are being leveraged because there's a system, there's a government that says, I'm going to take 35% of your money. And then I'm going to take taxes, whatever the case may be. So he says people who are smart build networks and everybody else just look for works. Now, I'm not calling you dumb or nothing like that. Tyreek, we don't use that type of language. But I tell you, when you look at Warren Buffett and billionaires like him, they are using a type of language that's called leverage. You see that word, leverage. You can get that from that word. And it's something that's happening where not all the people up top, it's the reverse, get paid. How about doing the work and making sure that you get the lion's share, right? Because this is just another way of getting paid when there's leverage. And there's somebody like you that says, man, I like this Minister Mooney and this Tyreek and the person that invited me. Why don't I get a piece of this pie? And there's so many other ways, as you see, just different ways to get paid. Leverage. So we like to say what, Tyreek? You're in customer service. You have your hands on it. You're right here. You're doing all these different things because God gave you a gift, and bless your mom, man, and bless the founders who gave us a platform. What do we say no to?
We say no to those shipping costs, compensation plans that are only designed for the top 1%. Like there's a lot of companies out there that they have these comp plans that are made to seemingly amazing, but they're only really beneficial to top 1%. That's and right. Balance and legs. Anybody that's familiar with network marketing might know something about that. I have some experience with it only because my mom has been in network marketing for a while. So I just remember how much of a nightmare balance and legs were. The huge startup fees, required auto ships. It's like she took everything that she didn't see fit and was like, we're not gonna have it. We ain't dealing with none of that. Keep all this out of here. But because you're gonna always get asked, there's a lot of CBD companies out here. What's the difference between Wakanda and everybody else? Well, the Wakanda difference. Well, what do we say yes to? More so, more time with family, a balanced compensation plan, being your own boss. And we say, I would say, last but definitely not least, the most important thing on this is customer support. Because at the end of the day, as you know, we're a Black business. We got to be exceptional, so it all starts with the customers. There's no Wakanda without customers. So customer support is our number one stride. And, we're working every day to get better and better. We're not perfect, but hey, we got a phenomenal customer support team.
Man, and you are phenomenal, bro. You are phenomenal. You're at home like I'm at home, with our families. And as to be in this space as African-American males, standing on the shoulders, and I'm going to say it, your mom, our co-founders, Dr. Rita. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Rita for showing up, right, and showing out and sharing her expertise, taking the time out to do so. I want to give a shout out to Kathy. Kathy is always representing Ruby. I didn't go into detail about Ruby, but you would have to ask the person that invited you and they'll break it down. Shout out to Genesis and Sierra, the Robinson family. Man, a family. Tyreek.
The Diamond Trio, I'm calling it now.
The Diamond Tree.
They already said diamonds in the makings. Diamonds in the makings already. What their mother said. They're going to be known as the Diamond Trio. You watch.
The Diamond Trio. I love it. I love it. Well, you all, hey, this brings us to a wrap. We went a little bit over, but I hope you enjoyed. Show some love in the chat. Show us some love. Let us know. The Diamond Trio, I see it. Show us some love. Thank you for everybody new who showed up. I would hope you were able to glean something tonight. But minimum, Wakanda is the most reputable cannabis company in the whole entire world. We are the Michael Jordan of this industry, the BET of this industry. And with that being said, I want to say to everybody, and I'm gonna let my brother Tyreek get the last word, but I want to say to everybody, have a Wakanda type of night, because I'm about to get some videos. What you got to say, Tyreek?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I think I'm going to take me a half of a Delta 8 and, you know, finish my night like that. Relax.
Oh, man. And that is a smooth way to finish it up. I might, as a matter of fact, I might take a whole one, brother, because I like sleeping under the bed. But with that being said, have a great night, everyone. Love you, brother Tyreek. Love everybody. Man, thank you for joining us, and have a good night.